Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Monster-sized twists transform everything, the impact on Genoa City. Let's talk about how Genoa City will be impacted by the shockers that will occur in the upcoming months, since 4 monster-sized surprises have the potential to completely alter everything. 1. A terrifying new antagonist is exposed. To begin with, a new antagonist will cause a stir. The person responsible for this hit will eventually be revealed, because it is clear that someone intended to kill Newman by crashing his automobile into a gulf. Although Roger Howarth's role has not yet been confirmed, there are indications that he and Sienna may be romantically involved. Mitch, with whom Sienna has been in a long-term relationship, may be the new villain responsible for Noah's terrible situation. In any event, after Newman receives information about who is at fault, Noah's adversary would want to keep an eye on him. You can bet that Nick will share that information with Newman so that Noah's grandfather can exact revenge. 2. Noah's disturbing metamorphosis. Noah may have a somewhat horrific metamorphosis of his own, contingent on the impact of his brain injury. Noah woke up with significant personality changes and at least some amnesia. Noah will eventually clash with Nick because he will prioritize his freedom over following orders like a devoted Newman soldier. According to YNR teasers, Noah will focus on his own future, but Nick and Sharon Newman will be worried, particularly in light of whatever illegal predicament their son has already found himself in. 3. Kane's continuing decline or proof that it's not a monster? Billy Flynn's character, Kane Ashby, has discussed his intention to show the twins and Lily Winters that he is not a monster. Will Kane make a daring action that demonstrates his goodness of heart and bring about his redemption? Kane may be able to do it in the future, but his behavior may worsen before improving. It might be disastrous for Kane's reputation and future if he and Phyllis are headed for a bedroom collision. 4. The rivalry between Victor and Jack escalates to unsettling new heights. The conflict between Victor and Jack Abbott is far from resolved. Kane is currently taking Jack and Victor's attention, but it won't be long until they start attacking one another again. Don't miss all the rage and destruction that will be released in this Newman-Abbott dispute, because there will be some significant betrayals and unexpected blows. The streets of Genoa City are trembling with anticipation, as whispers of danger, betrayal, and shocking transformations ripple through every corner of the town. The Young and the Restless is about to enter one of its most jaw-dropping phases yet, with 4 monster-sized twists set to explode and forever alter the landscape of this seemingly idyllic town. From a horrifying new villain to a once-beloved son's chilling transformation, from a man's desperate fight to prove he's not the monster everyone believes him to be, to a legendary rivalry reaching new, vengeful heights, Genoa City will never be the same again. 1. A terrifying new antagonist is exposed. Darkness is creeping into Genoa City once more, and this time, it's personal. The tragic accident that nearly claimed Newman's life wasn't an accident at all. The truth is beginning to unravel, thread by thread, and when the final strand is pulled, the face behind the carnage will shock everyone. The mysterious hit-and-run that sent Noah's car careening into a gulf was a deliberate act of violence. Someone wanted him gone, and the motive behind it will send shockwaves through the Newman family. Theories swirl like smoke around the edges of this mystery, and all signs seem to point towards someone within Sienna Bacall's orbit. Sienna has been carrying her own secrets that may have tied her fate to that of Roger Howarth's still unconfirmed character. Insiders whisper that Howarth's arrival will shake the foundation of Genoa City itself. Could he be the shadowy figure behind the wheel, or perhaps the mastermind pulling the strings from afar? And then there's Mitch, the man who has been in a long-term relationship with Sienna, a man whose calm demeanor masks something far more sinister. Could he be the one responsible for Noah's near-fatal crash? If Mitch is indeed the architect of this horrifying act, it opens the door to a chilling new era of vengeance and retribution. Newman is not one to stand idly by while his family is attacked. When the evidence finally points to the culprit, Nick's fury will be unstoppable. The protective father and loyal son will stop at nothing to ensure that justice, his brand of it, is served. And once Victor Newman learns the truth, Genoa City may bear witness to a storm unlike any other. The patriarch's vengeance knows no limits, and the man who harmed his grandson will soon wish he had never set foot in this town. But justice in Genoa City rarely comes clean. As Nick and Victor plot retaliation, new alliances may form in the shadows, alliances that blur the lines between hero and villain. Every move will have consequences, and before the dust settles, someone else may pay the ultimate price for revenge gone too far. 2. Noah's disturbing metamorphosis. Noah Newman's brush with death has left more than physical scars. It's fractured his mind, twisted his memories, and awakened something inside him that neither Sharon nor Nick recognizes. When Noah finally opens his eyes, his family rejoices, believing they've been given a miracle. But miracles in Genoa City often come with hidden costs. The once gentle, artistic, and compassionate Noah is no longer the same man. His brain injury has left him with partial amnesia and unsettling personality changes. Gone is the dutiful son who always tried to keep the peace. In his place stands someone colder, sharper, and unpredictable, a man who sees the world not in shades of gray but in black and white. At first, his family excuses his erratic behavior as trauma recovery. But soon, Noah begins making dangerous choices, forming questionable alliances, and defying every Newman rule that once defined him. He no longer wants to be his father's shadow or his grandfather's pawn in the family's power games. Instead, he craves freedom, whatever the cost. Nick, desperate to protect his son, will clash violently with him, and Sharon's heart will break as she watches the bond between father and son unravel. The tension between them may even drive Noah into darker territory. Whispers of underground dealings and illegal business ventures begin to surface, suggesting that Noah might be trading his moral compass for autonomy. Could this new version of Noah become the very kind of man his father once feared he'd become, a ruthless Newman molded by pain and resentment? Or will a final act of conscience bring him back from the brink? The answers will come slowly, painfully, and perhaps too late. Noah's transformation will ripple through every family dynamic in Genoa City, forcing the Newmans to confront not just the danger around them but the darkness within their own bloodline. 3. Cain's continuing decline, or proof he's not the monster? Cain Ashby has always walked the fine line between redemption and ruin, and now that line is about to vanish entirely. Haunted by his past mistakes, desperate to repair his relationship with Lily and his children, Cain finds himself at a crossroads that could either save or destroy him once and for all. He's been adamant about proving he's not a monster, to his family, his friends, and most importantly, to himself. But Genoa City isn't kind to men who wear their guilt like a badge. Every decision Cain makes seems to pull him further into trouble, and his association with Phyllis Summers could be his final undoing. Their chemistry is electric, undeniable, dangerous, and forbidden. Phyllis thrives on chaos, and Cain, struggling with his own inner demons, may find himself drawn to her unpredictability. The temptation builds until it explodes, and if the rumors of a passionate encounter between them are true, the fallout will be catastrophic. For Lily, it will feel like a final betrayal. For the twins, another reason to turn away from the father they once adored. And for Cain, it could mean losing everything he has left. But perhaps, buried deep beneath the lies and lust, there's a spark of redemption waiting to ignite. Maybe Cain's story isn't about becoming a monster, it's about proving that even monsters can find light again. Whether that redemption comes through a selfless act, a confession, or a moment of ultimate sacrifice remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, Cain's next chapter will be as unpredictable as it is heartbreaking. 4. The rivalry between Victor and Jack escalates to unsettling new heights. Some rivalries never die, they just evolve. For decades, Victor Newman and Jack Abbott have been locked in a battle for supremacy that transcends business, love, and family. It's not just about Jabot or Newman Enterprises anymore, it's about legacy, pride, and survival. And this time, their war is heading into uncharted territory. The current chaos surrounding Noah's accident and Cain's scandals has given both men new opportunities to strike. While Victor has been quietly orchestrating moves behind the scenes, Jack has been gathering his own arsenal, determined to prove that Jabot can outshine anything Newman ever builds. But when the personal becomes political, even the strongest alliances crumble. What begins as a business feud soon takes a darker turn. Secrets are exposed, loyalties are tested, and long-buried betrayals resurface with devastating force. Phyllis, Ashley, and even Nikki may find themselves caught in the crossfire as Victor and Jack's obsession consumes them. Rumors suggest that Jack may take one step too far, perhaps by manipulating someone close to Victor to gain leverage. But Victor, ever the strategist, is ready to strike back with a vengeance that could destroy the Abbott family from within. And while both men claim they're fighting for their families, their war threatens to tear those very families apart. The line between right and wrong will blur, leaving everyone wondering who the real villain is in this endless feud. When the dust settles, the cost of their rivalry may be greater than either man can bear. Friendships will fracture, empires may crumble, and the balance of power in Genoa City will shift forever. The aftermath, Genoa City transformed. As these four explosive storylines converge, Genoa City itself will be transformed. The city will become a battlefield of emotions, ambition, and revenge. Families will fracture under the weight of secrets, lovers will be torn apart by betrayal, and old enemies will find themselves forced into uneasy alliances just to survive what's coming. Nick and Sharon will struggle to keep their family together as Noah's transformation challenges everything they thought they knew about him. Sienna and Mitch's secrets will threaten to consume not only them but everyone caught in their orbit. Cain's choices will test the boundaries of forgiveness, and his fall, or redemption, will ripple through the town's moral fabric. Meanwhile, the Newman-Abbott feud will burn brighter than ever, setting the stage for an all-out war that could change the hierarchy of Genoa City for good. When all the lies are revealed and the truth stands bare, one thing will be undeniable: no one in Genoa City will emerge unscathed. Every character will be forced to reckon with their demons, every family will be tested, and every alliance will be rewritten. Because in this town, secrets don't stay buried, and monsters, no matter how well disguised, always find their way to the surface. Genoa City is on the brink of collapse and rebirth. And as the storm breaks, fans can only brace themselves for the chaos to come. The monster within, fallout in Genoa City. The sun may still rise over Genoa City, but it shines on a town forever changed. The echoes of Noah's accident, Cain's unraveling, and the escalating Newman-Abbott war haunt every corridor, every whispered conversation, every trembling heart. There's a heaviness in the air, a sense that the world these people once knew has been irreversibly altered. And beneath the glossy exteriors and forced smiles, chaos brews. Nick Newman has always carried the weight of his family's name like armor, protecting those he loves from whatever storm threatens to tear them apart. But this time, the storm isn't just approaching, it's already here, and it has swallowed everything he holds dear. Noah's accident, which was supposed to be a tragic mishap, has evolved into a full-blown war of vengeance. The knowledge that someone intentionally targeted his son fuels Nick's rage to a level even he can't contain. Every day, Nick grows darker, his thoughts consumed by revenge. He spends sleepless nights combing through files, contacts, and camera footage, piecing together the puzzle that leads to the one who nearly took Noah's life. He can feel it, he's close to finding the truth. And when he does, he'll stop at nothing to make sure that justice isn't left in the hands of the law. Sharon, meanwhile, watches her son and her ex-husband spiral in different directions. Noah, unpredictable and detached, stares blankly at the world as though he no longer belongs in it. His trauma runs deep, his confusion manifesting as rebellion and aggression. Sharon reaches for him, desperate to pull him back to the surface, but he slips further away each time. She turns to Nick, hoping for unity in helping their son heal, only to find him consumed by his own demons. The tension between them grows unbearable. Sharon pleads for Nick to let go of revenge, warning him that violence will only breed more pain. But Nick can't listen, he's already made up his mind. In a chilling moment one night, he stands in front of Victor's portrait at Newman Enterprises, fists clenched, and whispers, "This ends now. No one hurts my family," and walks away. Victor enters, his expression unreadable. For a long time, he says nothing, letting Nick's fury hang heavy in the air. Then, with a voice both calm and deadly, Victor replies, "Good. Because I won't either. That single exchange seals their silent pact, a father and son united by vengeance. Together, they will hunt down the person responsible. But Victor's plans, as always, are layered with manipulation. What Nick doesn't yet realize is that his father may use this tragedy to test him, to see if he's finally ready to embrace the ruthless Newman legacy in full. Noah's fractured identity. Noah's recovery takes a chilling turn. The once warm-hearted and idealistic young man begins displaying traits that unsettle everyone around him. He's irritable, secretive, and prone to sudden bursts of anger. But it's not just the temper, it's the detachment. He speaks in cold, emotionless tones, as if his humanity has been replaced by something mechanical. One afternoon at society, he meets with Tessa, who's been praying for him to return to the man she loves. But when she reaches for his hand, he pulls away, his eyes blank. "You keep looking at me like I'm supposed to be him," Noah says quietly. "But I'm not. He died in that car." Tessa's heart shatters. She insists he's wrong, that love and memory can heal, but Noah just stares out the window, lost in thought. His mind flashes back to the crash, the shattering glass, the sound of his own screams. And then, a memory flickers, someone's face reflected in his shattered windshield. But it's gone before he can grasp it. That fleeting image becomes an obsession. Noah starts sneaking into the police station, hacking into files, and even following leads that put him in dangerous territory. Sharon's worst fears come true when she finds out he's been visiting crime scenes, looking for proof of who did this to him. But Noah doesn't want justice anymore. He wants control. There's a haunting scene in the Newman stables where Noah confronts Nick, accusing him of hiding information. The confrontation turns explosive. Nick grabs Noah's arm, trying to calm him, but Noah shoves him back violently, his eyes cold and defiant. "You're not my hero anymore, Dad," Noah spits. "You're just another Newman pretending to be righteous." Nick, stunned, watches as his son walks away into the night, leaving behind the man who once promised to protect him from everything. It's clear now, Noah's transformation isn't temporary. The trauma has reshaped him into someone new, someone dangerous. And as whispers spread through Genoa City about Noah's erratic behavior, even Victor begins to question whether his grandson's newfound darkness might be an asset, or a liability. Kane's crossroads, descent or redemption. Meanwhile, Kane Ashby's world teeters on the edge of collapse. His desperate need for redemption is overshadowed by his self-destructive impulses. Every time he tries to do the right thing, he finds himself slipping back into old habits, lying, manipulating, running from accountability. Phyllis Summers is his mirror, beautiful, broken, and drawn to the chaos she creates. Their connection is magnetic but toxic, and neither can resist. Their flirtation turns into stolen moments behind closed doors, and soon into something that threatens to destroy them both. After one passionate but guilt-ridden night, Kane wakes up with regret clawing at him. He looks at Phyllis, still sleeping beside him, and realizes the magnitude of what he's done. The guilt is unbearable. For years, he's been fighting to prove he's not the man everyone says he is, a liar, a cheater, a monster. And now, once again, he's lived down to that reputation. Phyllis, however, has no regrets. She smirks when he tries to leave, mocking him for pretending he's better than her. "You keep trying to be the hero, Kane," she says, "but deep down, you love the fall." That line sticks with him. For days, he spirals, drinking more, avoiding his children, and lashing out at anyone who questions him. But there's still a flicker of conscience within him. When Lily unexpectedly returns to town, Kane is forced to confront everything he's lost. Her disappointment is palpable, but her eyes hold something else too, pity. In a moment of emotional collapse, Kane confesses everything. He breaks down, admitting his affair with Phyllis, his shame, and his belief that maybe he's beyond saving. But Lily, ever the voice of grace, tells him, "Monsters aren't born, Kane. They're made. But they can be unmade too, if they want it badly enough." That moment becomes Kane's turning point. For the first time in a long while, he chooses honesty over survival. He decides to face his demons head-on, even if it costs him everything. His journey from sinner to savior may be painful, but it's also one of the few glimmers of hope in Genoa City's growing darkness. Victor versus Jack, the breaking point. If there's one certainty in Genoa City, it's that Victor Newman and Jack Abbott will never stop fighting. Their rivalry is the heartbeat of the town, old, bitter, and endlessly evolving. But now, as corporate and personal tensions collide, this feud threatens to reach its deadliest point yet. Victor, driven by rage over Noah's accident, believes Jack has played a role in covering for someone connected to the incident. Jack, meanwhile, suspects Victor is using the tragedy to manipulate public sympathy and tighten his grip on Newman Enterprises. Both men begin waging a silent war in the shadows, leaking stories, sabotaging deals, and exploiting weaknesses. The situation escalates when Jabot loses a major contract to Newman Media under suspicious circumstances. Jack storms into Victor's office, his fury barely contained. "You think this makes you powerful?" he sneers.